This short video is about breakdowns. Now, when I say breakdown, I don't mean the kind where your car overheats and you have to pull over the side of the road. I'm talking about the process that you have to go through before you create a film or video budget. Now, simply stated, a breakdown is just a list. It's a list of all the different kinds of things that you're going to need to make your movie. And together, these breakdowns are sometimes just referred to as a script breakdown. But what it does is it tells you how much of something or somebody that you're going to need. Now, the big budget popcorn movies sometimes have dozens and dozens of breakdowns, whereas the lower budget independent but much more creative films have maybe just a handful. And here's a few of the basic kinds of breakdowns that you can do. The scene breakdown, which I'll get to later, is the subject of this video. The locations breakdown is a list which groups together all the scenes which take place at a particular physical location or built set as written in the script. For example, all the scenes that will be shot at the location or set called Bob's bedroom, or all the scenes shot outside at Central Park. The character breakdown is a brief analysis of every speaking part in the screenplay. In descending order, it would include the number of lines spoken by each character. Some people represent this by the number of pages on which the character appears, but it's not as accurate, because an actor may appear in a scene but have no lines, or be in another scene with 25 lines. This is different from the character breakdown used by a casting director, which briefly describes a character's age, demeanor, and general appearance. Surprisingly, non-speaking extras can be an expensive part of a budget. Listed by scene number, this breakdown contains the number of extras you estimate each scene will need. A brief description like 2 businessmen or 4 bar patrons is usually added. This can be listed by scene number, but it's usually done by a character's name. For example, the character named Bob wears jeans and a white shirt in scenes 2, 12, 21, 64, and 71. Later, this particular wardrobe combination might be referred to as Wardrobe 1 Bob, or Bob 2, and so on. Usually the person in charge of wardrobe for the production will develop this breakdown, but you should do it if wardrobe is a significant cost in your budget. Unlike the typical actors and extras, stunt performers will come and go as determined by the script and won't follow your weekly or daily schedule. This breakdown, by scene number, can contain as little or as much information as you want. At this point, it's more of a budget consideration than anything else. This can actually be 2 different breakdowns, one for physical effects like an explosion or rain, and another one for CGI or computer-generated effects and optical effects on film. Again, these are listed by scene number and are always an important budget consideration. There can be breakdowns for the amount of production equipment used in a scene, the number of vehicles, special equipment for stunts, animals or ammunition, you name it. The more you break down and troubleshoot the screenplay, the more you'll begin to understand what it will take to make it a reality, and the more precise your budget will be. This video is about the scene breakdown. The scene breakdown is not only a list of all the scenes in your film, but how many of them are day or night, how many are interior, exterior, where they take place, and how long each scene is. If the scenes are not already numbered, just grab a pencil and number them, starting with scene 1 at the beginning of the script until the end. It's important that you do the scene breakdown first, because all the other breakdowns will follow the numbering sequence that you've established. You don't need some fancy program to do this, just a sheet of paper and a pencil. Here's a little trick. After every 10 scenes you've numbered, jump ahead 1 number. For example, after you've numbered scene 30, mark the next scene as scene 32, and so on. Later, if you have to add a new scene or break a long one apart, you won't have to renumber the entire script. After you've numbered all the scenes in the script, go back to page 1, scene 1, and write, copy and paste, or type the slug line for each scene on a sheet of paper. Some screenwriting programs will do this for you, but with mixed results. However you do it, list the information in columns. You can use a word processor or a spreadsheet, and leave a few extra columns to the right, which you can use later. Here's an example. Straight from the script, we have interior, Bob's bedroom, night. Since this is scene 1, add the number to the left of the slug line so it looks like this. A good start, but how long is scene 1? not the running time, but how many script pages are in Scene 1. So open up the script and look again. Scenes don't always end at the bottom of a page, so we use fractions to represent partial pages. In this example, it worked out to 2.5 pages for this scene. Now our breakdown for Scene 1 looks like this. So with just this one line of our breakdown, we know a lot about the scene. It will be shot in Bob's bedroom, an interior scene of course, not exterior through the bedroom window, and it takes place at night. As compared to other scenes, this scene is 2.5 pages long. As you continue through the entire script, look closely at how the screenwriter has written each slug line. In terms of actual production, there is a big difference between this line and this one. If necessary, change the original slug line to indicate exactly where the scene will be shot. While doing this breakdown, you're essentially debugging the script, making sure the written words can actually transform into a visual presentation. You'll notice things the writer or director may have overlooked. Perhaps making a small change here or there might save a lot of money and not affect the film at all. All you've got to do now is just repeat this process for the next 70 to 100 scenes in your screenplay. I'll cover some of the other kinds of breakdowns in future videos. Meantime, good luck and thanks for watching.